Welcome back, guys. I know it's been a long time, but it is your boy, the one and only Alessandro Tryhard.
And the clinic, what's good?
Here as always with the clinic. So I know we promised we were gonna do videos. We are gonna be on top of them. Life gets in the way, guys. But more importantly, we are gonna try to put up a few. So today I got this topic for you, clinic. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
But we talked about doing this chat for a little while now, and I think it's a good time to finally break it out. I want to talk about loyalty, and I want to talk about, more importantly, what loyalty is, loyalty between you and your boys, loyalty between you and, for lack of a better term, these hoes, these bitches, loyalty to your parents, loyalty to your family, your friends, and I kind of want to touch on all the phases and what it means to be loyal, because, I mean, you got this perfect case that people were talking about a few weeks ago with the Olympics and all that shit when you had, who was it, I guess the decathlon guy, Ashton Eaton from the States. He's married to the Canadian girl, Brianne Tyson-Eaton.
Yep.
So she's competing in the heptathlon, and all of a sudden they point the camera on her husband who's cheering her on in like the finals days worth of events for her.
Yeah.
She ends up winning a bronze medal.
Okay.
Awesome athlete.
Yeah.
And points over to her American husband, and her American husband has a hat on that says Canada. So what's the first thing every American fan? By the way, Ashton Eaton, her husband, would go on to win the gold medal and set another world record in points.
Yep.
So he does his country proud. But what does all the countrymen do? Mm-hmm. They fucking destroy this guy on Facebook, on Twitter, everything, because they're like, who does he think he is supporting Canada when there's an American girl competing against his Canadian wife in these events? Who does he think he is? Now, Ashton Eaton would go on to defend himself by saying, hey, you know what? I'm supporting the country that produced the love of my life, my wife, Brianne Tyson. And, to me, that's the ultimate loyalty, right? It's, I don't really give a shit what you think about my fucking decisions, because when it comes to me being loyal to my wife, or when it comes to me being loyal to my partner, I know what that loyalty is between us. I don't give a fuck what people think it is or how they want to define it. But in that moment, that's how I'm gonna feel. I don't know. I thought that was a beautiful little thing. I know we talked about it a few weeks ago. We talked about getting this video out a few weeks ago, just based off of that. But I think it transitions more into like an everyday situation. So, perfect example. We all have friends, and we all know good people. And I mean, there's a reason those people are revolving doors, and they come in and they come out of your life. You and me, we've been boys now for, I want to say, maybe 7-8 years, something like that. But I mean, we all had boys before that, and we all continue to have boys outside of that too.
Of course,
obviously you've got your homies, you've got your main homie, just like how you have your main chick, and she's your bottom chick. But it's a loyalty thing that always tests that. You and me, we both knew a guy. Awesome dude, right? Awesome dude, really good guy. And then there was a situation, I think I told you about this. Where I was working a job, and then all of a sudden this guy knew my boss, right? Personal trainer guy, a really good guy. Knew my boss, and he was both of our personal trainers at one point too. Helped me lose a lot of weight. Help get you back into shape. For sure. Good dude, right? Had his demons, but it doesn't matter. Good dude, good friend.
Doesn't matter, right?
He knows my boss. And all of a sudden, one day, my boss comes over to him while he's training with him, and he says, hey, you know what? Alessandro Tryhard's a good dude, but fuck it, I'm going to get rid of him. We're going to let him go at work. So he finds this out, because he trains with him in the morning, and he's like, wow, when are you going to let him go? This afternoon. Like 5-6 hours from our training session. So instead of this dude doing what I would expect an honest, loyal friend to do in this situation, which is pick up the phone after the session's done and be like, yo, Tryhard, not trying to be that guy, but, obviously this is what's going to happen. Prepare yourself, What does he do? He says nothing to me. And then after I get canned, I go up to this dude, and he's like, oh yeah, that guy told me this morning that was going to happen to you. And I'm like, well, then we're done, because in my opinion, the code of ethics is why not give me the warning? It's like all of a sudden you find out that I'm gonna be shot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, very different degrees,
For
right?
sure. Okay.
But all of a sudden you find out I'm gonna be shot,
Mm-hmm.
and you know the dude that's gonna shoot me, and he's a good dude in your opinion, but I'm a good dude too.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna tell Ray that he's gonna be shot because the guy says he's only gonna shoot him in the arm. You know?
But it's
But I still end up shot, and then you're like, "Fuck! I knew you were gonna get
But
shot."
that's the thing. It's the problem. The big problem that I have with this situation that happened with that mutual friend that we had is because there's two mistakes. The first one is to say that I'm going to take the information and not tell it to my friend. We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be loyal to each other, which means that, you know, if somebody throws me under the bus, whoever that person is, we either tell or we either take that person and we throw it under the bus too.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
That's in my opinion. That's how the
Right?
breakdown should work.
Second error is if now that you decided not to say anything, you can't go back and say I knew it.
Yeah.
You have to
Hold
play
that
the monkey
silence.
and then be like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. You take that to the grave.
That's it. Then at that point, when it comes to push and shove, it's like, oh yeah, but you knew. Now nobody can prove it, right? Because that other guy that told your buddy that, or our buddy that, he could have said, yeah, that guy knew. As long as that guy said, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, you're always gonna take your buddy's side. 100%.
Exactly.
So my qualm with this is that said friend comes up to me afterwards and doesn't understand why I'm mad, and he doesn't understand that the big thing for him in terms of his defense is he's saying to me, well, you know, your boss, Try Hard, is my client, so if he tells me shit, you know, I wouldn't want it to come back to me like I told you. And I'm like, how are you even going to call us friends that you're going to think I'm going to handle the situation like that? Right?
Even if I do, though.
You think, no, but I'm saying if we're going to be friends, right, you should know me well enough to know that I'm not going to handle the situation like that. I'm not going to go into work and be like, okay, I know you're going to fire me today because this guy told me.
No.
And I know that you train with him. I know you told him this morning, so
You
thanks.
can't. Why would you even do that?
But I'm saying, like, that's what I don't understand. That's why I don't take it as a defense. That's why
It's not a defense.
my reaction, and I mean, some people will listen to this video and they'll be like, you know what? Like, maybe I know who the two of you guys are, or maybe I know
Doesn't
who
matter.
that dude is, or whatever, and I think you overreacted, Try Hard. I think that was the wrong thing to do, Try Hard. But my thing is this. I'd rather cut those people out of my life because I know if the role was reversed, how I would play it. And I know I'd go up to this guy and be like, yo, this shit's going to happen to you.
But you have to, because here's the problem with this whole thing. If you pull that as a defense, what you're saying is an arrogance thing. That's what it is. It's not my fault. I knew it and it's not my fault. But it is your fault. Because ultimately, if you know a building is going to fall down, why are you just not saying anything?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be boys. And that's where the loyalty comes from. And then it also tells me that some people are just more loyal to themselves, to greed, to money, to power, than to use those connections as, you know, it's just, oh, we're friends, but, oh, it benefits me now.
Yeah.
Then I get up. You know, it's the same, we always talk about this analogy about, you know, the crabs in the bucket. It's the same thing. But this situation, it's like, oh, I know this guy is going to come down. And like Alexandro is coming down. All right, cool. I'm going to use him as a step now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we heard after that, oh, well, you know, prices for the training, you know, I charge those guys more than what I charge now.
Yeah. I mean, that was super hurtful for both of us to hear, too. I mean, we were this guy's, I want to say, first clients in, like, months, right? And he's our buddy, and he's like, oh, well, I'll train you. I'll get you guys to where... And there was no issue with the training.
Training was amazing.
Both of us had no issue with the training.
No.
But the problem that I have is it's like all of a sudden the prices are fluctuating. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. And you'd think because we're friends, we get a friend discount. And same thing when you hear these players, it's like, are you going to give the team the hometown discount?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
And even if you don't, whatever, okay? But I'm saying what bothers me is that you're going to go out and you're going to give a discount to strangers. And you're going to be like, oh, well, when Clinic and when Try Hard were my clients, I charge them, you know, 1.5 times what I charge now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but what,
we're not with you. It's like, why would we go back?
But why would none? But the problem is that why would you even say that? It comes down to arrogance.
Because he's fucking arrogant though.
It's come down to well, what the fuck you gonna do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, what I'm gonna do is bye.
Yeah.
Cut you out of my life. Fuck it. What's the point? Because what tells me that if somebody comes up to you and says, okay, cool, we need tryout out, 10K, 10 G's right now, you're not even gonna think, because for something you didn't have to pay, you didn't have to do anything but to just send a tweet. I'm pretty sure you don't have Twitter, but send a Facebook. It's like send a message.
You know I don't fucking have Twitter.
Send a fucking pigeon, call, text a dude and be like, look, this is what's going on, man. My bad. You know, if there's anything I can help you with, done. That's what friends are for. Okay, like, and this is why, like, I keep telling my friends, and this is why I think my circle is really short. It's really a tight one, because it's like, I tell my friends this: if we're friends, okay, it's gonna be measured by when things are really bad and not when things are great.
Exactly.
But you know, you can't have people like that, man. People like that are just two faces. They're just waiting on an opportunity to fuck the shit up. So you're gonna fuck up on that on a simple notice. It doesn't affect you. You're not losing that customer because, you know, we're gonna be like, yeah, he told us. We're not like that. What the fuck is that? But no, you want to be loyal to money? Cool. I hope you get plenty of it. I hope you don't need me for anything. But as far as me and you dealing, fuck it. Not worth it. And this is what loyalty comes to me. It's really just, you have to be loyal to yourself, but when you're being loyal to yourself, not for greed, you're being loyal to yourself by being respectful to others because you want to be respected, you know?
But my big thing is like, and I mean, I don't mean to back it up, but like,
yeah.
you used an analogy that I think a lot of people would love to hear if they understood it, but like a lot of people are like, crabs in the bucket, isn't that fucking Chaos song? You know what I mean? But no, the analogy of crabs in a bucket, just to explain it, right? For the people that aren't familiar with it.
Okay.
You're 5, 6, 7 crabs in a bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all that you decide to do is step over one another to get out, right?
Yeah.
But in doing so, the guy on the bottom's always moving out to try to get on top.
Yep.
And the crab just above him is trying to move to get out on top. And it's this revolving ball of crabs. It's always fucking never making any progress to get the fuck out of there.
No.
Because they're like, I want to be the crab on the top because then I can get out. But 5 crabs on top of each other aren't going to get the fuck out of the bucket.
No.
What they have to do is they have to work together. And then they got this giant fucking claw and they pull each other out, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But that, or they tip the fucking bucket because they all go to the same side.
Yeah.
But that's not what happens.
Nope.
And in life, all it is these people that come into your life and they use you. And I think this guy's a perfect example of that for both of us.
Yes.
He comes into our life, and first of all, this guy is at literally rock bottom when we meet him, right? Mm-hmm. Literally rock bottom. Mm-hmm. This guy, he has his own story, he can do whatever. I don't fucking care about his story, I don't fucking care about him. No. But I'm saying, somebody that helps you, you then turn around and you're just loyal to. I don't understand. Because when I met this guy, you know, his family didn't give a fuck about him. His fucking friends didn't give a fuck about him. And literally everyone this guy knew, and his circle, it revolved around you and me.
Yeah.
When we met him. Because everyone else cut this dude off.
Yeah.
And at the time, we didn't ask ourselves, oh, why is this guy being cut off from everyone? We were just like, you know what, this guy's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's down on his luck. Let's give him a chance,
yep.
right? We ended up helping this guy get back on his feet. We ended up helping him get an apartment. We help him like grow his business, do all that shit. And in the end, this is how we're repaid.
That's it.
And what bothers me is that there's always going to be people in that where there's snakes, right? They turn out to be these snakes or these chameleons that show you their true colors only when it's convenient for them.
When it's convenient for them. Yeah.
So the thing that bothers me is we have another buddy, right? Another buddy who's gonna just turn out to be a huge little bitch, right? But how long have we known this guy? Maybe 9 years?
No.
10 years?
Yeah.
He was my good boy for like maybe 2-3 years, you know, before you got there. And it's like, I did everything for this dude.
Yeah.
I've literally done anything I could do. I bailed this guy out. I fucking helped him get a job. I helped him get back on his feet. I helped him chat up girls at the club. I wing him all the time. I do all that shit. I give him money when he needs money. I help him out. But it's like, this is the same. And don't get me wrong, he did all those things for me too.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's a situation. In that situation, what happens is you go and you turn out and you act like a little bitch. For no other reason than you're just emotional. And in this situation, to explain it a little bit for the people that don't know, right? We're all chilling out, we're having drinks at my place.
Yeah.
Right? I got a place downtown Ottawa. It's not the best place, but it's my place. I have a 2-bedroom in downtown Ottawa, for which I'm the only one that lives here.
Yep.
Right? I used to work downtown. That's a job that I got let go from. I used to work downtown. And all I said was, anybody that wants to fucking be at my work, and my buddy was at that work because I got him a job, I'm like, anybody that wants to hang out here, no problem. You know, I never have a thing, because I'm like, I'll never ask anybody for anything, but maybe that's my problem. I'm too giving, right? Mm-hmm. This guy's like, you know what? Fuck it then. I'm going to take full advantage, and I'm just going to move in. I'm never going to offer to pay rent. I'm going to be here 3-4 nights a week. You know? He's like, oh, try hard. You got all inclusive, right? Which means you don't give a fuck how much water I use. You don't give a fuck how much heat, fucking electricity, any of that shit. And I'm like, you know what? I do have unlimited, and it's all included in my shit. So you're right. I don't fucking care. Right? But it's the principle. This guy would go out. He'd buy himself fucking McDonald's from the Rito McDonald's. I'd come home. I'd be fucking struggling. I'd be like, man, I don't have food. You know, shit's tight. Just lost my job. All this shit. He'd be sitting next to me with a fucking Big Mac. And he'd be like, oh, shit, that sucks. He'd be like, Knight, I'm going to go to bed because I got to work at the job you got me after. Yeah. And it's like, I'm going to go to the bed that I moved into your house, that I'm not paying rent for. I don't offer you money for groceries. I don't offer you money for rent. I don't offer you money for anything. And I do the math, right? I'm like, I'm not stupid, but I'm also, I can know when I'm being taken advantage of, right? Of course, yeah. And there's a big difference. Like, I gave this guy so many mulligans. I brought it up, 4 months into him doing it? Whereas literally anybody else, I would have talked to them in the first week. Yeah. And I was like, listen, I have no problem with you staying here. I have no problem with you doing anything else. But, you know, it's a little peculiar that, like, you're going to call yourself my good friend and shit like that. But you're literally taking advantage of me. Yeah. Like, straight the fuck up. I understand that I'm letting everybody else do shit for free. But how many times have they used that? They maybe stayed over once in 4 months and shit like that. But you moved your bed in to my spare bedroom. I'm telling you I'm going to get a roommate because I got to cut my costs. And you're like, why would you do that? I'm here.
Yeah, but you're not paying.
Exactly. And you're walking around like you own this place. Right? But I'm like, it's my house. You stay here for free.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm helping you out. You have a place. But because you live in fucking Canada, it's like, oh, because I work downtown and I'm off at 3 a.m., I'm just going to go crash at Tryhards. Because it's free, I have a bed there, and I'll take advantage of the situation.
No, but it's like, it's all good, but the problem is, again, we're not asking you to pay anything, but it's like, at least contribute, at the very least.
My thing is like, offer once, you know what I mean? And this guy, if he's going to say, oh, well, I bought pizza one day, thanks, you were here for fucking 4 months. And what about all the days where you bought pizza, you didn't buy shit for me? You didn't buy shit for Clinic when Clinic came over, but yet, you and me would sit here, broke as fuck. And we'd buy a pizza and we'd be like, hey, dude, do you want a slice? He'd always eat it.
But it's always like that. I mean, look.
And my thing is, like, these people are going to call themselves your boys, right? And, like, this guy was my boy for 6-7 years. So getting back to what happens, right? We're all sitting here one night. We go out. You and me go out. You're like, you know what? Try hard. We're going to go out because you're down. You know, you're in a bad mood. Yeah, you lost your job a couple weeks ago. Yeah. But it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. We're going to go out.
Yep.
Okay, you're like, I'm going to treat you. Tonight's going to be on me. We're going to go to this place called Junction downtown. I fucking hate Junction. But I go, right? Because you're like, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. You're going to have a fun time. We go, right? Earlier in the day, I get a text from this fucking guy. And he's like, oh, try hard. I'm going to fucking come over tonight. And I'm going to stay over with a couple other boys from work. Hope that's okay. This is at 5:30. All I'm thinking to myself is I'm like, if I don't say yes, I'm the asshole, right? Because I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, but I'm the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And then what happens? It's like we go to that club and we run into him at that fucking club.
Yep.
With the boys, and they're like, "Oh, what's up, Tryhard?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, not too much. Like, we're just partying." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're staying at your place tonight. Tonight's a night out for everybody that's at the work." I'm like, well, in my head, I'm like, you could have fucking invited me. You invited yourself and 2 guys over to my fucking place that you don't pay rent, but it's because it was a party and you didn't want me to go to the party? Or I'm not understanding the fucking logic, because there's so many parties this kid only got to in his life because he knew you or me. Because nobody invites this fucking kid out anywhere that isn't a 15-year-old fucking person from his old work. Right? But you and me bring him everywhere. Like, under our shoulder, like the little brother that we've never fucking had type thing.
Sure.
And we're not invited out to a party at fucking Junction? I'm like, whatever, okay, cool. We get back to the place. They get back to the place. There's now 5 of us chilling.
Yep.
One of these dudes from work is passing right the fuck out. I'm looking at the spot right now where this dude passed right the fuck out. And it's like, oh, well, this dude smoked too much. So he greens out right in my fucking living room. I'm like, okay, whatever. The other guy from work, I got him that job too. And that's our boy too. And we go way back. So now, I'm pissed. I'm like, you know what? It's 4 a.m. I have no filter, and I have no fucking time in my head to put up with bullshit. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck you, man. What the fuck is up with you? Like, and I'm calling you out right now. I'm like, you stay here 4 nights a week. You never once offer to pay for shit, groceries, anything. You know that I'm broke right now, but you still fucking stay over, right? You fucking get your own food when you're here, enough for just yourself, right? You buy fucking orange juice and then you give me shit because I'm drinking the orange juice that's in my fridge.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I bought that for me. If you want a box next time, tell me and I'll pick up a box. You should be fucking picking up a box of orange juice for me any fucking way. You're staying downtown for free every night you want to. I'm like, then I'm doing the math for this kid in front of all of you, right? You were there, you saw it. And I'm like, if you're going to go to Canada every night, and let's say you take a fucking Uber, it's going to cost you $25 a night. If you're going to Airbnb a place downtown, what's it going to cost you? $25 a night. What do I get? 0 every fucking night from you. Then what does this dude do? He bitches, he complains, he's like, you know what, fuck you, I don't need this. And he storms out. I haven't talked to that guy since. Not because I didn't reach out to him. First thing I did when he left is I was like, listen, you know you acted like a bitch. And I'm like, when you're willing to admit that you acted like a drunk bitch, I'm willing to hear you out. Haven't heard back from this guy. You know why? It's because he's ashamed. He's ashamed of his fucking actions. I even tell this guy, I'm like, if you're going to be a bitch like that, fine, give me my fucking key back. Then I told you, I'm like, man, all of a sudden I'm sleeping, I wake up at 12, and this guy comes in, I find the key on my nightstand, and this guy cleared out his fucking room and left the mattress. And he's like, I'm not taking the mattress, so fuck that, you deal with the mattress, but I took all the rest of my shit. And I'm like, okay, so A, you don't even wake me up to have a fucking conversation. You see that I'm sleeping and you're like, perfect. That's why I fucking came in at 10 a.m. because I know this fucking dude would be sleeping. Let me clean this shit out, not have to fucking deal with him, be even more of a bitch, and leave. And I'm like, I know this guy my fucking whole life, right? You've known this guy your whole fucking life, and you're gonna act like a little bitch like that. And again, you know what? Maybe the viewers, they can hear the story and they can be like, you know what? Try hard. I don't think that was the right call. If this is your boy for 7 years, how are you gonna just break up all that fucking time over this?
But the problem is that you didn't.
I didn't.
Ultimately, is you, because look, even when we have dialogue, right? Sometimes I call you or you call me. I'm like, listen, this is what I think about the situation, and you're like, no, Max, you got that shit completely wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Or, oh, try hard, you have that shit completely wrong. But it's like, but we're not mad about it. We're not, look, we're philosophers when it comes to shit like that. Okay? We talk and then we find the best truth until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
So if we're boys and then we can't talk like that, then what are we doing?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, what's the point? So we talk and then it's like, oh, you're pissed off, and then cool, your ego took a hit and then you run. Like, that's So that's your philosophy for life. Once it gets tough, you run.
Yeah.
Then what are you gonna say to people? And what's funny is that, you know, you hear whispers and it's like, oh yeah, but eventually, you know, things are gonna get back to normal. But I'm just like, but how?
Yeah.
If you're not willing to do the effort, and then try hard is pretty much right on the situation, and then you on the other hand, you're not. We all saw you fucking storm out. We're texting you like, yo, what's going on? Yo, where you at? What's up, fam? You don't reply. So do you have beef with me too? Like, what's up? What's going on?
But all I'm saying is, it's like, you know, and I get back to the chameleon shit, and I'm like, you know, for example, it took this guy 8 years of being boys with us to show us in one situation why he doesn't deserve that status. You know, to show us why he doesn't deserve, you know, all the shit that we've done for him over the 8 years. And it's like, this guy's been down. He's been at the lowest point. I remember going to parties with this dude, and this guy was fucking pathetic, right?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that I've been a gem my whole fucking life and I haven't had downs too. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, there's a lot of points that you and me got this guy through, right? He's done a lot of stupid fucking shit in the time we've known him too. But he's always been able to swallow his fucking pride and be like, guys, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? And for a long time I was like, as long as you can do that, you know, we'll keep giving you fucking chances.
No, because I mean, we do the same. And that's the thing. If I fuck something up with that guy or even you, like, yo, try yo, my bad, man. This shit was fucked up. It was uncalled for. My bad. Squash beef. Because now you realize, okay, I'm talking to a man right now. Not talking to no bitch or no fucking girl. Oh my god, all over the face. No. Yo, we're men. We can fuck up lots of times. The only thing is, hey man, yo, my bad. You know what? Let's talk over a drink. Let's do this, let's do that. And then be done. But people want to dwell over shit and then be like, oh, well, I don't need them. Why? Oh, well, I got money, I got a job. Fuck it. I'll just pay. I'll just do. But it's like, no, the problem is not the paying part. It's the principle. It's always the principle.
Well, the thing that always bugs me in both scenarios, it's like, you know, again, maybe I'm being too arrogant myself in making this statement, but I'm like, if you guys are gonna have the attitude where it's like, you know what, fuck him, I got a job, I got money.
Yeah.
Look at who got you that job. Look at who got you that status, right? And in both situations, it was me.
Yeah.
Right? This guy calls me up, and he's like, oh shit, you know, I'm still working at the fucking grocery store. I'm still hanging out with fucking 15-year-olds and going to parties. I'm like, you're gonna get fucking arrested, right? And do all this stupid shit. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I should take you out of that shit before you get arrested, right? Before you keep throwing these fucking parties, and then one day somebody comes in and they're like, how old is that person? They can't be drinking, you're arrested.
That's it. That's
right?
all it takes.
Some shit like that. And then, what do? I save him from that, and I'm like, here's a decent job. Go work downtown, you'll make money. Right? More importantly, in addition to making money, you're going to have fun, you're going to meet a lot of great people.
Yep.
And you're going to change your own status. You're going to be whoever the fuck you want in this new life, because it's different from where the fuck you were.
For sure.
And he's like, you know what? Try hard, you're right. Quits his job, comes.
Yeah.
But it's like, I did that shit for you. You know? With our buddy who was training us. It's the same shit. It's like, you know, you got a house from the money I was paying you every month to watch me lift weights. You know, and I'm not discrediting what you did, right? You did a good job. Yep. But I'm saying, like, you literally exploited both, you know, Clinic and myself being tryhard, us, and then fucking discounted everyone else because you were like, you know what? Those two guys are always going to pay me what I tell them.
Yep.
And we did for a long time.
Without question.
To the point where we were breaking ourselves to pay this guy. We were like, man, I got to pay you $750 a month for training. I'm willing to do that because I'm seeing results. I'm doing all this shit. Yeah. But it's like, man, I can fucking, I can use a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you miss a fucking session with this guy and he's like, oh shit, well you didn't give me notice, so fuck you, you're still paying for it. I'm like, man, like, you just told me how 2 guys missed sessions with you this week and you gave them a mulligan. It's like, because I'm your friend, fuck me?
That's the thing. And you know what's funny too? What happened is that I never missed a session ever. Okay? When we look at myself, me, I was on point. I made it a point where I'm just like, okay. I was leaving work early because work was pretty, people weren't looking at me at the office and shit. I was leaving work early to make sure that, okay, I'll be home at this time. I'm going to sleep. Then I take the car and I go. This one time I show up, no one in sight, call this guy, nothing's going on. And then shows up like 45 minutes late. Nothing happens. Another time, it's like, yo, I think I'm sick, blah, blah. You better not show up. I'm like, okay, cool. Calls me 20 minutes later, like, okay, I'm showing up. Then I'm on my way, driving there. Okay? So knowing that I'm downtown, and then I have to head to fucking what?
It's like Glebe area.
Glebe area.
Wellington.
Wellington area. So towards like the west. I have to run, do all that shit, and then it's like, no notice, and then I get there, and it's like, oh, but my bad. But it's like, what the fuck?
No, but you know what? I think it's one of those things now where, like, as you get older, and you hear this a lot, right? Because our parents tell it to us all the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
No.
The world changed, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking. You don't say that because you and me, we get beat, right? But I mean, white kids say that to their parents all the time. It's just like, my whole thing is it's just like you learn as you get older that there's people out there that are just going to take advantage of you and take advantage of the situation. It's like you choose to almost live in disbelief.
You do.
Because you choose to believe that you're above that. It's like, oh, well, you know what? My friends are genuine. And bitches are notorious for this.
Of course.
Right? First thing they always say is they're like, you know what? I fucking just know I can trust Becky with all my fucking secrets. Mm-hmm. Or I can just trust Rhonda alone with my boyfriend on a night out. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you know what? All of a sudden, Rachel and Natasha know everything about me. Mm-hmm. Becky must have fucking said something. And it's like, all of a sudden, this fucking guy's cheating on me with my fucking best friend. Mm-hmm. But I should have known. I mean, I thought I could trust the two of them alone. It's like, you're dumb.
What are you talking about?
But it's almost like the betrayal is different because from a female perspective, that's the shit that goes down. Shit that, like, men would not allow because the logic just wouldn't allow them to put themselves in situations like that. It's like, okay, I'm going to go let my girlfriend hang out with this dude one-on-one. They used to date. Nothing's going to happen. It's like, yeah, I never do that. Not because I'm jealous, but because I'm smart.
It makes no sense at all.
Right? But a hoe is going to let you do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my ex-girlfriend. We're just friends now.
Yeah, but it's because it's an emotional thing. They don't think like, okay, cool.
100%. But I'm saying it's almost like the treachery that exists in the loyalty relationships that we face, it's like, it's a deeper cut. It's a deeper wound because it's like, man, I've done so much shit for you. And all of a sudden you're just going to act like a bitch. You're going to act like emotional as fuck and give me stupid reasons like, oh, well, he's my client. So I can't say shit because you would say that I told you.
So
or
how do you know what?
Exactly.
Like, how do I think?
Exactly. Or it's like, oh, well, you know what? Fuck you. Because, I shouldn't have to pay rent. Or I shouldn't have to do shit for you. I should just get everything. I should just be able to stay here. A false sense of entitlement.
It's like, Jesus.
A false sense of fucking entitlement.
That's it.
A sense of entitlement that says, hey, you know what? I lived with my parents my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
I've lived pretty fucking sheltered. I grew up, I was white. I grew up, I had money. I've never not had money.
Yep.
So I don't know what the fuck you're going through. Instead of just admitting that and being like, you know what? I don't know what it's like to be in your situation right now.
That's it.
How can I help? Or something like that. Or not even how can I help? I don't know what it's like to be in your situation. Do you need to talk? Not even help. Do you need to talk?
At the very
Shit
least.
like that, total fucking difference. But instead you're like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Okay? Because I don't know what that's like, so fuck it. Fuck him, fuck his rules, fuck his house, because I don't need that shit. I'm going to Uber every night home, or I'm going to do other shit. And you know what bothers me even more? This guy doesn't think that I still hear shit. And this guy doesn't think that, like, the people that used to work at my work, and all that, he doesn't think I had the ears on the streets that I fucking have.
You still do.
Right? No. And I've always been notorious for that. I'm always the one that knows shit.
Yeah, of course.
Because people tell me. It's like they tell me because they know I'm not going to fucking blurt shit out.
That's all.
But all of a sudden, and you and I both know this, this brings me into the third point, which is loyalty to the opposite sex, loyalty to your partners. And if you're a lesbian or a gay dude, whatever, loyalty to your partner. But this segues perfectly into it. It's like all of a sudden this guy starts hanging out with this chick that I used to be fucking.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Goes over to her place, and all of a sudden this chick that I used to be fucking, I'm technically in an open relationship with this chick.
Yeah.
She decides to go and disappear because she's a hoe. And that's what they do.
Okay.
Now, I don't mean hoe disrespectfully, I just use it as a general term in this sense.
Yeah.
Because whatever, she did her own thing, right?
Yeah.
I thought she was a nice girl. I was fucking wrong. I thought we had a good time when we hung out. I was wrong. But I'm saying he decides to again hear from this girl that she's like, you know what? I've been hanging out with Clinic, but you know what? I'm catching feelings, so I'm gonna run away from shit, and I'm gonna ditch shit, and I just don't know how to break the news to him. She tells him that shit, and I know because I know the other person that was in the room. And what does he do? He's already fucked up with me here, and this is about 2 days later, right? He doesn't have the balls to go and be like, you know what, listen, shit that happened the other night aside, this is what's in the works. This is what's going to happen. You know, like, let me just prepare you for that. Almost the same way as the trainer didn't prepare me.
So you mean that, wait a minute, so you mean that in that situation, before shit went down.
Before shit went down with me and this chick, he knew shit was going to go down. And didn't tell me anything. Right? And this guy is going to sit there and he's going to be like, well, I'm your best friend. And I'm like, sorry, newsflash, man. But you haven't been my best friend for a while now. And more importantly, why would you think that, you know, your actions in the last month and a half can even, like, you can even call me?
No, but here's the thing. You pull that shit with the house thing, okay, we could have given you a pass, but now, right, it's like if we want to talk about mulligans, right, that's how I see it. So you get a mulligan for that shit. You were drunk, you were whatever. Fine. Now, you're talking to a girl that I'm dealing with.
And that you know I'm dealing with.
You know I'm dealing with. And then you couldn't just say, bro, this is what's going down.
But you know, we both know why that is.
Why? Because
right?
you think it's just what, like your trump card or something?
No, we both know why that is.
Why?
Right? And we mentioned this in other videos.
Why?
The second a guy pulls a shoulder to cry on, they do that because they think to themselves,
okay, I'm gonna get it.
I'm next. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna be next. But here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Here's the kicker.
Here's the kicker, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, this guy's not gonna get shit, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what? Maybe he's laughing on the other end because maybe he did. You know, I don't know. But all I'm saying is this.
Doubt it.
What bothers me about it is it's like you've literally stood there and been like, in this situation, try hard. This guy's only close to that chick because he's trying to move in. And then you pull the same shit to me.
Yeah.
Right? And you listen to her problems, you listen to all this shit, instead of just being like, yo, pick up the phone and talk to this hoe.
Or pick up, well, he should say that to the girl too and be like, while you're saying all that to me, you should be a trooper. Here's the thing. My theory when it comes to stuff like that, right? If we want to talk about loyalty and shit, okay? You don't call block, you facilitate when it comes to everything, okay? So, as a guy that you know you're friends with Tryhard, okay? You're friends with that guy, right? You know he's dealing with a chick. You have to facilitate either that girl stepping the fuck out or Tryhard getting that girl back. That's how it should be. You can't be thinking, oh, now if I pull that, which never worked, ever, and if it did, you're the exception to the rule. Therefore, you confirm what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't just possibly think that, okay, I'm just gonna like sit around and listen to that girl talk, horse shit, and then I'm gonna fuck. No. Because we know, and we've been through a situation where when we didn't give a fuck, and when we're just like, let me just, for everything that a girl is saying, and I'm not even trying to hit on her or do anything, I'm gonna reverse anything, I'm not gonna agree with half of what she's saying, all of a sudden it becomes a challenge, and all of a sudden she just gives it to you wide open. We had examples recently too, and that's what happens. So you're my best friend, but then you're the one who's caught blocking me. That should be the job of another girl that would be jealous of you or the situation and say, okay, cool, let me not give Tryhard the information because I want that to fail so I can step in.
Exactly, but that's what bugs me. It's like, first of all, I'm not trying to be a dick here or say or do anything, but it's like, you know, I've always said this guy's like a little brother to both of us because you got big brother and you got little brother. So I don't ever know the chick that goes from fucking the big brother to be like, you know what, let me fuck the little brother.
We talked about this a lot.
And the only time that would ever happen that I can think of is a revenge thing. Like, I mistreated this girl. Or shit like that. Or I cheated on her. But even then, it's not happening 9 out of 10 times.
Exactly.
So my thing is this. Why would you pull that shit, that next man up mentality shit? Like, oh, you know what? If I can fucking sabotage this, or if I can tell this girl what she wants to hear right now, which is blow it the fuck up with Tryhard. You know, yeah, you know what, you caught feelings, whatever, blow it up, run away like you always do, because there's something better out there, and then allude to that being myself. Why the fuck would you think that would work?
I don't know.
And I mean, yeah, we had a falling out 2 days earlier and shit, but the other thing too is like, do you not think I'm gonna fucking hear shit? Do you not? Because like, I'm at the point where like, I hope to God this fucking dude hears this video. And I hope to God this guy fucking hears the message that's in this video. And I hope to God fucking 5 years when he's walking down the street and he's like, I don't know anybody. All my friends fucking hate me. All this shit. Then he thinks and he plays this video back and he's like, man, I fucked up so hard. I fucked up so hard because these guys were good to me. And they were always good to me.
Yeah.
Right? And I hope he fucking realizes that.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I wish this guy a long life. And I wish him a long life because the longer he lives, the more he has to look himself in the mirror every day and realize that he fucked up.
That's fair.
Right? And we've done videos on other people, like our good boy from back in the day that had no problem bottling people and shit like that. And now somehow has materialized into the perfect life in Toronto. Right? Yeah. And he's got a horseshoe up his ass. We had that video too. But it's one of these things where this guy is not that guy. And unfortunately, if he's done anything, he's peaked right now. So it's all going to be downhill. And as shit starts breaking down at that old job that I used to work at, because the second I left, it did.
Yeah.
Like we all fucking knew it would.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that place is going to be a fucking ghost town in maybe 2-3 weeks. And everyone's going to lose their fucking shit. And everyone's going to lose their fucking jobs. This guy can go back to working at the grocery store and hang out with fucking 15-year-olds. And then when we read about him in the fucking paper, I'm not going to act surprised. You're not going to act surprised.
Nope.
And all I'm going to say to myself is, wow, if that guy was a better friend, maybe he would have let me pull him out of this shit.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, ultimately, he said it all. It's just like, you know, when we have those talks and then, yeah, you know, we're angry at times, we're frustrated, but the problem is just like, we want people to listen. You know, I'm not there just talking out of my ass and being like, oh, you know, I'm this great genius that just knows shit. I know shit because I lived it.
Yeah.
You know, this girl shit when, you know, you're the shoulder of the crown, we all done it. What we got from it? Zero.
Yep. But we always think we're the exception. We always think we're that 9 out of 10.
And this is why it's like the perfect time. Perfect illusion. Why? Because if you figure it out, right? So a girl puts you in a situation where she does that. If you're doing it willingly, that's fine. Because right now, I have a friend that calls me, and then I have to always bring up and tell her, listen, like, you're good the way you are. Like, don't worry about it. Okay? Yeah, you're fucking with like fuck boys and shit.
Yeah.
But that's on me. I don't have to do this. I don't.
But you realize that. That's the difference, right?
Yeah. Like, my thing is, I'm not trying to obtain anything. And you know what? The best part is about it is, you know, this girl calls me and I'm like, oh, blah blah blah. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. Guess what's gonna happen? The minute I decide to step out of town, visit this girl, and I'm doing the same thing in her city, which is I'm hanging out with this girl, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Guess what's gonna happen? Well, hey, why should I not try with this guy? Because he's the one that's been supporting me, but he doesn't need me. And that's what the thing is.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Yeah.
The game is who cares less wins.
Yeah.
Who is willing to take all the chips and be like, I'm done, wins.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I put a bunch of investment and it's gonna give me interest. It might, but what do you think? It's like the bank. Okay, you can save all your money all you want, you get some interest. But if you take it and then, you start flipping houses, it will give you more.
Yeah.
So,
what's
you
the
choose.
risk? What's the risk and what's the path you're gonna take?
That's it.
My big thing is we talked about a lot of people in
Yeah.
this, and you know what? Fuck them. I don't
Yeah.
care. But my whole thing is like, they all had choices,
Yeah.
and that's what bugs me. It's in none of these situations was there a gun to anybody's head. There wasn't a gun to that girl's head.
No.
There wasn't a gun to that guy's head.
No.
And there wasn't a gun to our buddy's head.
No.
But what did they do? They all fucked up and they made their own choice. So
They take the easy
you know
path.
what? Now live with it. Live with it because
take the easy path.
it's one of those things where it's no different
Mm-hmm.
than what you were telling me about your boy
Yeah.
that used to come from Haiti. And maybe you can tell us the story.
It was the same thing where, he decided to go, we bailed him out, because this guy was doing fraud. And then, they asked for someone to sign up for him to say, okay, he's going to live at her place and be that and do this, do that. And then me and my dad, now being the guys that, we're really straightforward. We told him, listen, you don't have to live here. They need an address, okay? That's how the government works. It's not like they're going to post someone working 24 hours checking if that guy's there.
Yeah.
They might call you, they might not. They never did, which is pretty funny. Listen, all we want is this. You go out of the country or you go out anywhere, you let us know, because if they call us, we can tell, yo, this guy went to the grocery store, this guy did this guy did that, blah, blah, blah. Okay? What does he do? We see this guy for a week, and then never seen this guy again. And then 6 months later, not even from his brother, he has 2 brothers here, not even from him, we get a whisper from another guy that we know, oh, this guy got caught up with 2 other guys in Oshawa trying to buy shit from credit cards that have been stolen. Okay. Now I get a knock on my door, maintenance. I see the building manager running like a bitch, and then I get a badge on my face and a warrant being like, yeah, we're taking your apartment, flipping the shit around because we think that this operation runs here. So they go through all my souvenirs, all whatever panties I have from bitches, everything.
You keep that shit?
Yeah, of course. You gotta keep them trophies, man. I wash them too.
That's fun.
But, letters from girls, things I got from school, all that. Flip everything. They didn't find one piece of paper that had anything related to either credit card or buying shit. Because we weren't part of this shit.
Mm. And then what do? They say sorry, and you gotta put it all back?
Oh yeah, that's what they do. Flip everything, like shit show, bro. Shit show. Take your mattress, you have books here, take all your books, put that shit to the ground, not giving a flying fuck. And then they're like, oh, we didn't find shit, bye.
You don't say like, hey, who's gonna clean this up?
No.
That's not how it works, eh?
No.
Fuck, I've never had that shit.
Yeah, it was the first time. I'm just like, oh, you got a warrant? Cool. Start. Then they have 2 other people. Then they start running the whole apartment. Everything was fucked. It took me a couple hours. But basically, to make the story short, I have to drive a car for 9 hours because it's 4 hours. It was 5 hours in, 4 hours back, because now I knew the road. on 5 hours of sleep. I'm awake for 24 hours. The guy that brings the car falls asleep in the car. This guy doesn't get bailed out, and then it's like, cool. Sorry, you got deported, and we're not even gonna tell you. It's somebody else that's gonna tell me. This guy's dead to me, man. Dead. Like, don't ask me anything. Now he's on, because we have another buddy that I know. He knows that guy. This guy's on Snapchat, fucking flexing, being like, "Oh, we're balling in Haiti. We're doing this. We're doing that." Cool. The minute that guy calls me, he's dead to me. I could see him on the street. I don't know you. Why? Why we're friends and then I have to find out shit from other people? How loyal is that? I was there. When they're like, "Oh, you have to drive," and I didn't want to. I didn't even know how to get there. I was like, "Cool. This is my buddy. Let's go." Spend the entire day at a courthouse when your case is the last one. But of course, they're bitches. They couldn't fucking tell me that, so I can take a hotel and chill somewhere. So what did I get for that? A big fuck you. Not even getting paid for it.
Okay, so final story on loyalty, and I think this is the most important one because this story's about us. This story's about you and me.
Yeah.
So I remember a couple New Years ago. You're like, "Oh fuck, that story." I remember a couple New Years ago.
Yeah.
You and me, we get together with another buddy.
Yeah.
And this guy is just, he's not the definition of Arab, but he's Canadian Arab. You know what I mean? He's Canadian Arab as fuck, because he's just like, I live with my parents, but I make a lot of money and I just go on a lot of trips.
Yep.
Because I save all my money. Right? I don't pay rent, I don't do whatever.
God bless that dude, though.
Has a baller life, and you know what? Honestly, good for him, because I know how hard he works. I used to work with this guy, and then he became both of our buddies.
Yeah, fantastic.
So what does he say? He's like, "Guys, for this upcoming New Year's, let's go ball out, and we'll go to New City Gas for New Year's." He's like, "Tickets are only $150." I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, $150 for fucking tickets just to get in somewhere? I'm like, yo, I better get a blowjob with these tickets.
That's exactly what you said too.
And he's like, "No, man, it's gonna be fucking ridiculous. It's gonna be this massive party." And we're like, "You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna rent a hotel room.
Yep.
We're gonna do it right. We're gonna have a lot of fun." Our other buddies, like, who just got married actually, so shout out to him. Our other buddies like, "Oh, well, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna pay for the hotel room, but I mean, I'll crash there." And I remember the hotel had this policy where it was like, it was only the number of people that signed up for that room that were allowed in the hotel. So I think at the time there were 4 of us, or 5 or whatever.
We were 4, I think.
We were 4, I think.
Yeah.
And there were 4 of us that had to be in the hotel. Had rented the hotel, and then this dude was the 5th guy.
Yeah.
So he ended up not being able to get in and tried to get in at 3 a.m. drunk. Had his fiance talk to the fucking front desk person, wasn't having it.
Oh my
Ended up having to stay at his cousin's. He was a shit show when he came by. We were all fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is we get there, right? We look fucking fly as fuck. We're all ready to have a fucking blast. But before we get there, we're like, let's fucking turn up. Let's turn up hard.
Yep.
Fucking hard. We start drinking. We start drinking so much. We were buying Crystal Skull vodka, fucking Kettle One vodka, fucking somebody bought Ciroc. It's like, why?
Stupid.
Why not? Just because.
Stupid.
We're turning up. This guy's like, "Oh, I only drink Goose, so I bought myself a 40 of Goose." I'm like, okay. I'm like, "Have you ever heard of Belvedere? Because it's the same shit, but whatever." He's like, "No, it's not Goose. It doesn't have the Goose." I'm like, "Whatever, man. Like, calm down." So we get there, and we're all pretty fucked.
Yep.
But the clinic is fucked.
But you know why? You know why though? You know that McDonald's trip just before?
Yeah.
You assholes just bought a bunch of shit, and I'm there in front, and then you guys drove off, and I'm like, well, I don't want to make him go back to grab shit. I'm going to wait until I get...
So basically what Clinic's saying to justify how drunk he was, he's like, "I didn't eat."
which was true.
So anyway, this guy's like, let me just drink as much as everyone else without eating, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't say anything because he's thinking, oh well, I should have made them go back, but doesn't say, hey, I'm hungry. Let's go get more food.
No. Here's the thing.
So he didn't. I just want to clarify.
No, I did. I'm not saying I was not wrong. I'm saying that my mentality was I'm going to another city, which is Montreal. Okay. Before we get there, I'm gonna find something there.
Yeah.
Right? Because we went to a gas station to grab like pop and shit, and I'm like, okay, cool. But then in that fucking gas station, I'm like, well, there's no food there. By the time I get to the hotel, and again, it's the same mentality. By the time I get there, I have money, I can crawl anywhere. And then we get there, and it's like, and then start drinking, and I'm like, well, fuck it.
That's happening, yeah. So we end up getting to New City Gas. There's like no line. We make our own line because it had like this whole like zigzag line area shit. I just move all the fucking things and we just walk straight.
Yep.
And people are looking at us like, who the fuck are those guys? Like, why aren't they waiting in line? And I looked back at them like, yo, we're more important than you, so just shut up. So we end up getting there, and we got to coat check. And I remember coat check because that's all I saw of that club. So we get to coat check, and this is when clinic is fucked. This is when like we're taking turns holding you, and we're like, clinic, just be sober enough to get in, man. And then if you're drunk, whatever, like you're in. But like you just gotta hold it down.
Yeah.
Till we get in. And you're like, I can do that. I got this. It's somewhere in the next 5 minutes you black out. We have you taking turns resting on both of us, and the one buddy who's Arab Canadian like passes you over to me. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta check my coat. So I put you on a pillar. That was the mistake. I put you on a pillar.
Yeah.
So I put you on a pillar, and you're swaying. I'm like, no, he's not gonna go down. You go down. You go down,
bah,
and you hit your head. And that's what everyone was fucking like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because like you hit your head, and when you hit it hard. I was like, man, if this is the NFL, it's like concussion protocol shit right now. And I remember they had the medical tent for the whole club right next to the coat check. So we drag you to the medical tent, and right beside you there's a guy ODing. Like, right beside you there's a guy ODing. And then because you hit your head, you just start fucking getting even drunker. Even because like the shit's in your system, but now your body doesn't know how to regulate it. It doesn't know how to process it. So you're fucking throwing up everywhere, and I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. It happened. It's not a big deal. But it's like, I remember the only selfie we took, because we didn't go upstairs to New City Gas. I think the Arab Canadian guy went upstairs for like 5 minutes, and like everyone else stayed with you. But the only thing that we did was we took a selfie with you, because the ambulance was called for you. They put you in like a neck brace because they were worried about your head. And we took a selfie with you passed out on the gurney, the three of us.
It's fucked up, man.
And then we spent the night in the hospital.
Yeah.
And the hospital's like, oh, well, you know, you can't see him. They didn't tell us you were in the room right next to where the fuck we're chilling.
Yeah.
Right? So it's about 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, they're like, just go home. You guys aren't going to be able to see him. So we go home, we get some sleep, we wake up in the morning, and we're like, fuck, okay, well, whatever, like, it's all good. Then we go back to the hotel, and, like, they're like, oh, only one person can see him at a time. Like, I don't know why these nurses were so French and so angry. And, like, they hated me because I only spoke English. And that's, like, I guess that's, like, a Montreal, Quebec thing. Yeah. Where they just hate on you.
It's stupid.
For shit like that.
That's really stupid.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, you'd be really cute if you weren't such a cunt to me right now. You know what I mean? And it's like, they're like, oh, well, you know, your friend's back there, so only one of you at a time. And I'm like, bitch, we've been waiting for 17 hours to see our buddy. Then, I remember how we ended up getting back from the hotel to see you. It was like, I get a text from you and you're like, yo, Ray, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, clinic, like, do you not know where the fuck you are? Like, mad. Like, super mad.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, man, like, where am I? I'm like, dude, you're in the hospital, man.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't remember. He's like, one minute I was drinking Crystal Skull vodka with you guys, and then I woke up here. I was like, dude, you blacked out. You hit your fucking head. We were all worried about you. We didn't celebrate. Like, money gone, money up the wall, like, whatever. But, like, we spent all night waiting to see you and shit. Then we get there, and they're like, man, you know what? We're not even worried about his head. He's got some heart shit. And I'm like, we came here for his fucking head. Now there's, like, an issue with this guy's heart. And all the dudes that are with me are doing is they're bitching. They're like, I gotta work tomorrow. I thought I'd be back by now. I thought we'd be on the road. And I'm like, yo, like, clinic, like, it's not my choice, man. These guys want to go, right? So what do I tell you? I'm like, listen, I just talked to my sister. Like, we were all friends at that time. You, me, my sister, we're still all friends today.
Yeah.
And she's packed her bag because she's like, okay, try hard. What you're gonna do is you're gonna fucking take these whining bitches home, and then you're gonna swing by the house. You're gonna pick me up. I got some clothes here for you. Try hard. We're gonna swing back, and then we're gonna go get clinic in the hospital. Because they were telling us that it was gonna be like 5 or 6 hours for you to see a specialist. We're on the road, not even half an hour. And then I get a call from you and say, yeah, man, I'm out. Like, specialist was here like 15 minutes after you left. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to turn around. At that point, I was like, maybe halfway. I was like, I'm just going to turn around and grab you. And you're like, man, don't worry about it. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate your loyalty. But, like, I called my other dude, and he's coming. He's just going to come grab me. And I was like, okay, then. But I just remember, like, thinking to myself, I'm like, and looking at these two guys and being like, man, like, if it was you in the bed instead of him, he wouldn't be bitching. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
And I almost wanted to just be like, fuck it, like, take my car, like, go, and, like, me and this guy will cab. Like, I don't want to leave you alone type thing.
No.
And then what do you say to me in the bed? You're like, man, like, just take them. Like, if it's going to be 5-6 hours, just take them. And then I was like, no, well, if I'm going to take them, then I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab you. So I'll see you in, like, 6-7 hours. And you're like, okay, that's dope, no problem. But that's what fucking loyalty is to me, right?
For sure.
Because I know there's been situations where I call you and I'm like, yo, like, I need something, right? And you're, no hesitation. Here,
no problem.
Here, take it, or where do I have to meet you? What do I have to do? Like, there was a moment where I was without a car. I just moved downtown. And I was like, man, like, I really got to get to this job interview. And I'm like, I'm not trying to put you out. You're like, why? What are you even talking about? Like, I'm in the car. I'm on the way because I got you. But I'm saying that's loyalty. And what bothers me is it's like, it's so few and far between today. And more importantly, like, whether you're going to be Ashton Eaton, you're going to be Brianne Tyson Eaton, you're going to be us, you're going to be these fake motherfuckers, which is like these two friends we talked about, this fucking chick. It doesn't matter, your friend, like, it's just like, you know, the loyalty, it's not a gray area, it's black and white.
It is black and white.
It's black, and it's always been black and white. It's not something where it's like, oh, well, I don't know if this is the right move or not. You always know.
You know, but it's like, what the problem is this, man, and I think we can finish it like that. Like, I think one of the biggest mistakes that we do as human beings is that we try to do right, and then we judge people by the fact that we're trying to do right. So we're like, if I'm a serious guy, by default, people should be serious too. If I'm loyal, then they should be loyal. But the problem is that as we're talking about the situation, there's very few people that can, you know, be in that rigid line because it's the hardest thing to do. It's easy to put people under the bus. It's easy to be like, oh, fuck this guy, like, I'm good. But it's hard to say, well, shit, maybe that guy needs to talk. Let me drive and then let me see what's up. It doesn't mean you need to give him money. It doesn't need anything, right? That girl from Montreal, I'm calling her and I'm texting her and being like, yo, you're fighting the good fight. Like, don't worry, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what she needs. Because guess what? Some other girl there, right? Doesn't have that. She's dealing with this. She's dealing with that. Lost her job. Did this. Did that. What does she do? Kill herself. And then, oh my God, I'm surprised. But it's like, yeah, but you're surprised. Did you talk to her?
Yeah, did you reach out to her? Did you know her pain? Did you fucking care?
No.
No. But I see her when she's out and she has so much fun. It's like, you don't know her though. Don't act like you know her. Don't act like you know people.
Until you talk to them.
Until you talk to them. Until you know what they're dealing with and shit. And I mean, in all the scenarios we described today, all that was missing was the communication.
That's it.
And that's the fundamental thing that's missing from everything.
That's all. That's all there is. It's just, hey, let's talk. Let's just have a talk. Okay.
I've always said, man, it's more important. And what's more important than money is just being able to be there for people when they need you.
Of course.
Right? And it's not even like you need to be there financially for people. It's like, just be there and like be a shoulder.
Yeah.
Be somebody that can I can have a conversation with you and talk me through a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah, so exactly. So with that being said, it was the clinic, and yo, where are you leaving that?
I'm not leaving. I'm here.
All right, well, stay your man.
You know what? As always, it's your boy Alessandro Tryhard here with the Calling Out Clinic. We will have more videos for you guys. Just be loyal. Don't be bitches. Wait for them. This shit takes time. You know, it's art. This shit takes time. So be patient, and we'll try to keep them coming for you guys. Thank you so much.
We out.